everybody, it's Beth Kingston. Happy Saturday night. Welcome to episode 3 of Let's Craft with a Kingston Home. That's me. I'm very excited to have everybody back. If you're new, I'd love to know if this is your first time. If you've been with me the last 2 Saturday evenings, I would love to know that too. I want to know what everybody's doing. As usual, I'm having my vodka tonic. I feel like I'm going to need to branch out. Let me know what you guys are doing. How was your week? I want to know all the things. And I want to tell you that we're doing the cutest project in the history of ever today. We're going to be making flower string lights with the Crayola DIY string lights craft kit. And I am unnaturally excited about this because I can't wait to show you the end result. This is going to be so easy. You guys are going to love it. You're not going to do it at the same pace that I am because some of the flowers have to dry for a little bit, but I'm going to walk you through, show you some of the tips and tricks. Some of the craft fails, don't do what Beth Kingston does. And it's just going to be a good time. So here's what you're going to get with the kit. You're actually going to get the twinkle lights, which I'm obsessed with, and you're just going to need 3, I want to say AA batteries. Yes, 3 AA batteries. And you're going to need a little screwdriver to put the batteries in. You're getting 2 of the Crayola dual tip pens. You're getting 3 sheets of the paper flowers, which I know you can't see, but I'll show you those in a bit. And then you're getting 2 sheets of green leaves, a sheet of dark green leaves, and then you're getting the flower holders that I'm going to talk about. You're getting a set of the double-sided reinforcements, and then you're getting some glue dots. So the only thing that you need, besides the batteries, is you need a shallow bowl of water. And then you're going to need, I unfolded a piece of newspaper, put it underneath, and layered some paper towel on top. That's what we're going to dry our flowers on. And that's all you need. And this is going to be so fun. So first thing we're going to do is separate our flowers. So these are made of tissue paper. I'm going to move some of this other stuff out of the way because we're going to be using water for a few minutes. So let's move all this stuff over. So this comes in 3 sheets and they are semi-attached to each other. If you can, when you are taking them apart, I've already started this one, be as gentle as you can separating them because it's a lot easier. See how these are sort of sticking together? It's a lot easier to color the flowers if they're still on the backing. If some of them pop out, I wouldn't worry about it too much. You just have to be gentle and have a little patience, but don't be too worried about it. Just if you can make it a little easier on yourself. See, and then you've got a couple sheets. I know it's super hard to see white on white, but I promise you in a few minutes, you will see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to take just one of the sheets and I'm going to, excuse me while I grab my glasses so I can do some up close and personal work. So what you're going to do is color these flowers, and there's 3 different sizes, small, medium, and large. You're getting 2 of the Crayola dual tip pens, and these are actually different colors. So this is Primrose, which is like a lilac on one side, Flamingo Pink on the other, and one's a bolder tip and then one's a fine tip. This one is blue and then Blue Lagoon, so this one's like a lighter blue. So you can mix and match the colors however you'd like. When I show you the finished result, I actually have a whole set of these, so I tried some other colors. I actually tried it with another type of marker, and the Crayola ones were far and away better. And I'm not just saying that because I wouldn't have mentioned it otherwise. So here's where you're going to make some decisions. Let me show you first of all the craft fails. You're going to color these, and then we're going to dunk them in water, and they're going to sort of spread the color. Don't do not enough, like right here, where I was like, I'm just going to do a little swirl in the middle. I'm sure it will blend. No, it does not. Also, don't try to get too detailed with your pattern. I don't know if you guys can see that. I wanted little swirlies around the outer petals and a little swoosh in the middle, and it just didn't meld like I'd thought. So but don't be too hard on yourself if you have a couple of those. And also, there's room enough for you to, if you've got 1 or 2 you don't like or you tear one, we're all good. It's all good, my friends. It's just crafts. Okay. So this is where you're going to decide how you want to color. And there are little tiny holes inside each of these. We're not going to take those out until everything dries. So this is where you decide how much color you want. Do you want to mix and match? You see how it's easier to color these since I've still got them inside the paper they come in. If I'd taken these out, I'd sort of have a mess everywhere. You can do See how rich these colors are? It's just fun to play with and see what kind of patterns you're going to get once we start putting things in the water. You're going to see how it changes color. You also, like I have this piece of paper under here. You could use a piece of newspaper. This is a great project to do with your kids because it's just sort of a free-for-all. In my opinion, as I mentioned, like with this is one of the other colors I tried. Better too much color than not enough. You could also do something fun. Mix and match the colors together. I mean, there's just so many choices. So yes, you've got the 2 pens that come with. If you've already got this whole set and want to use it to do some other colors like I did a this yellow, you can. I mean, there's just so many cool choices. I just want you to decide what you guys want to do. So I'm just going to do a couple and see, I can sort of go along the outside. And this may look like a hot mess, and you know what? It might end up being one, but we're going to find out in a second. Okay. Oh, and I used a lighter pink too when I did the other ones. So you're going to, once you've got them colored like you like, you're going to start tearing them out. And again, you want to be gentle, but you'll see at the end result, I'm not too worried about what it's going to look like. So I'm going to pop these out. Okay, while I'm doing this, everybody tell me where you're tuning in from. How's your week been? How's everybody's summer? There's a lot going on. This is the time when I know everybody's either starting to homeschool their kids or we've got kids going back to school. There's just a lot, which is why I'm glad you guys are joining me on Saturday. This is just a nice way to get away and hang out with people virtually for a little bit. And if you're tuning in and doing this with your kids, I'd love to know that too. So I've got my bowl of water. I'm wearing an apron because I'm a messy crafter, as I've told you guys 1,000 times. If you're a neat person, if you just want to have a paper towel handy to wipe your fingers, you're going to dip this in the water and let it go for a second. And you can see how the color is starting to swirl around in the water. And then you can just zhuzh it around a little bit. And the water, you will lose or move as much color as you choose. So I'm going to take that, plop it down. It is going to soak through the towel, and I'm going to show you something cool about that also in a bit. Don't worry about this because that's just going to add more color to your project. So I'm going to take a blue one. And it doesn't matter if you color a flower, put it in the water, vice versa. Also, don't be too hard on yourself as I was. If the flower petals fold onto each other when it's wet, you'll be able to take it right apart when it's dry. But see how it was here's a perfect example. It was so dark before and now it's lightening up. If I just tap it in the water, I'll do this one, just a little boop, boop in the water, then I don't lose as much color. So that's what you have to decide when you're working on. And there's so many flowers to play with and practice with. Plus, as the water changes color, it's also going to change what the flowers look like. Oh, it's so good. So you're going to do this with all the flowers. You're going to let them dry, but it might be a little too early to do this, but let me see. So if I move this one and I take this one and lay it on top, this flower will actually soak up a little bit of that pink. That's a way to get also a really cool like double color effect, but you're just going to lay these all out. You're going to let them dry. And while you do that, we're going to take apart the green flowers and such. So I'm going to move all this out of the way. Start punching out some flowers. Move my crazy ones out of the way. Okay. So we've got green and we've got like a dark green and an olive green. In the olive green, it's just the flower petals. And you're going to pop these right out. I'll just do a couple. And then I'll show you. There's a little fold in the middle I'm going to show you. Okay, so you're going to pop those right out. And then you're getting these dark green. And there are flower petals, but there's also flower bases. And so this is what the flower petals look like. This right here is what the flower base looks like. Okay, so every flower is going to get one of these. And the way I counted it out, you can do 2 olive greens and a dark green per flower. And I'll show you what I mean by that in just a bit. And all of this is stuff, obviously, I'm not going to make you watch me punch out all these, but this is something you can do while you let these dry. I gave mine like half an hour max, depending on how long they'd soaked. Depends on how long they're going to need to sit. But if you look in the middle of all the flowers, I don't know if you can see that very well with the camera. There's a little fold right there, like a little plus. So you're going to fold at the plus sign. You're going to fold in that way, and you don't need to go too far. And then you're going to fold it in half. And you're just going to pinch them together like that. And you're going to do that with all of the leaves. And it doesn't matter. It's meant to not be even. See how it folds on one side? This is not rocket science. Nature obviously is not even. So you're just going to fold these, fold and fold, do them all, and you're going to set them aside. Then you're going to take the flower bases and you're going to poke out these holes. Remember, there's holes in the flowers too. This is going to become very important. And this also has a fold in the middle. This one you do want to be even, so you're just going to fold it straight in half. Oh, I love this so much. So, okay, now we're going to, now I'm going to reveal to you my mostly done one because I'm super excited with how it looks, guys. Look at how cute this is. Oh my gosh, this makes me ridiculously excited. So here's one of the reasons why I love this. This is a project that you can recreate because this is just tissue paper. So you can cut these out if you've got a die cutting machine, if you've got a punch. You just need like a hole puncher, maybe a crocodile to punch out the middle. You can buy twinkle lights everywhere. You can cut out your own leaves. So this is 100% something you can recreate. As I've mentioned 17 times, why I love these Crayola kits is it gives us a chance to try something before we go out and buy all the things. So this is what yours is going to look like, which makes me ridiculously happy. Here's a tip. That's Kingston tip number 72. When you are working on this, start at this end and work your way back. Because if you want to, for example, have this hanging over your bed, this flower right here might get lost because you might need a little more extra cord. And also, if you don't have enough, like, you know, if something terrible happened to your flowers or you just ran out, I would rather have this side empty than this side. Don't be Beth Kingston. Don't do it on the wrong side. So for me, I found it easiest to turn it on so that I could, look how cute that is. Oh my God. I can't even, like, we're not even done. I just love this one so much. It was easiest for me to turn the lights on so I could see exactly where I was working. But once you know where the lights are and you can sort of see the little nubbies, you don't have to leave it on the whole time if you don't want to, but you can if you'd prefer. So you're going to take these are like double-sided reinforcements. As I mentioned before, when I counted it out, you could do 2 olive green and a dark green in between each flower. So I decided to put the leaves on first because that way it looked sort of more natural to me and I could fit the flower around the leaf as opposed to vice versa. So all you're going to do, take one of your folded leaves, and this is where our glue dots are going to come in, which I've hidden over here. So if you read the instructions, it says you just need 1 glue dot. You've got enough to use 2, and I would use 2, and I'll show you exactly where to put them. If you've never used glue dots before, they're just little tiny bits of rubber cement, and they're pretty much the greatest thing that has ever happened to crafting. So you're going to put 1 glue dot here. Let me know if you've never seen or heard of a glue dot, or let me know if you live your life by glue dots, because I do. And they come in like 27 sizes, and they're amazing. So you're going to put one right in the center at the fold, and then you're going to put one maybe about ½ inch up, and it doesn't matter on which side, because then, pretend like this flower's not here already. You're going to fold it in half. The glue dot in the center is going to hold the leaf onto the string. Then when you fold it over, it's going to hold the leaves together. Here's another tip. Give that a good hard press. When I first was doing the first half of this, I didn't press it hard enough because I was like, oh, it'll stick together just fine. You want to give it a good hard press because we're actually going to manipulate these around a little bit. So give it a good hard press, and then you're just going to do the next one. And I'm going to take a sip of my cocktail while we're waiting. Okay. Then you're going to get 2 more. And like I said, you should have plenty. If by some chance you run out, you could use just a little bit of liquid glue. You could use some double-sided tape. And it also doesn't matter. Let me put this on here. So see, I could put it this way and have the leaves fold the same way, or you could put it this way and have the leaves fold the opposite way. It really is whatever you like. If you don't like the 2 colored leaves and you just want to do 1 color, then you'll have some left over. Push down real hard. And remember, you're doing this in between the lights. And so I'm going to do the 3rd one. That's my 2. Has anybody ever tried something like this before? Has anybody ever done their own garland? I have done garlands like for a fireplace, but I've never done a lighted one before. And now the possibilities are just like exploding in my mind. To do this you could do this for baby showers, you could do it for bridal showers, birthday parties, and you could custom color, excuse me, you could custom color the flowers. You don't even have to do flowers. You could do whatever you want to, as long as there's a hole in the center. Okay, so we've got that done. Now, hopefully our flowers are dry. So we're going to take our flower pieces. Remember, you've got small, medium, and large, and we're just going to layer. But now is where you're going to pop out the centers. And again, don't worry. It doesn't have to be perfect. If it tears a little bit, because these are flowers, or sorry, tissue paper. And you can mix and match the colors. You can do, but like I said, don't be too hard on yourself. This one doesn't look like I got a lot of color on here, but the way it looks once you crunch it all up, you're not even going to notice. So now we're going to start using our reinforcements. So you're going to peel them off. They peel beautifully off the backing. You're going to need to get that middle piece out. You're going to lay the reinforcement on the center. So here's a trick. If you do not have, I have my nails done. So I had a little bit of trouble getting these off. You might have to give it a try or two and give it a little bit of a rub. You can end up using like the head of a pin. There you go. And I know that's probably hard for you guys to see. There's a little bit, but it's sticky to the touch now. You peel that off. You add that guy. So we're just layering these flowers. And again, if it doesn't end up perfect, it does not matter because we're going to have a lot of give on the light. And there's here. So these remind me a lot of notebook reinforcements, which I feel like notebook reinforcements were not double-sided because that would defeat the purpose. So these are very fancy and I love them because I would never have thought, if you used glue dots or liquid glue, you'd have to punch a hole and it would just kind of be a mess. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Now I'm going to take the flower attacher, as they're called, flower base, thank you. And I'm going to take one more reinforcement. So we're using 4 reinforcements per flower. We're doing 1 between the layers. Then we're going to do 1 in the middle right here. So this is going to wrap around the light. So see, I've got the light right there. I'm going to press it. You want to give it a really good press. Then I'm going to take another reinforcement and lay that on top. Give it a really good press. You're going to peel that layer off. And like I said, if you have a little bit of a tough time, I would try pressing it a little more with your fingernail. Otherwise, use like the tip of a pin or the edge of your scissors. There it comes. But once you actually have it attached, it comes off pretty easily. So don't be dissuaded. Excuse me. I'm going to drink all this vodka tonic before the night is over. Whew, okay. How's the weather where everybody is? It was like 90 degrees earlier this week and now it's like 75. So we got a lot. Fall is coming, my friends. Okay, so I've got that on. Now it's time to zhuzh. And what do I mean by zhuzhing? First, we're going to start with the leaves. Move this out of the way. So now that your leaves are stuck together, you're going to sort of pull them apart and bend it a little bit in the center. So see how it was flat right here and now it's got a little more little more life to it. So you're just going to stick your thumb down in there, widen it out a bit, and that looks much more like a leaf than this. So you're going to do that to all 3 sets of leaves. It just makes it look a little more real, gives it a little more volume. And then do this one under here. And I'm just showing you the one because you guys don't need to see me do a whole thing of string lights, but when you're working on this, you could do all the leaves first and then all the flower bases, however tickles your fancy. When I was putting it together, I did leaves first, then I did the flower bases, then I added the flowers, and then I zhuzhed everything. So, and zhuzhed is the technical term, by the way. It's good. So we've got our leaves. Now you're going to take your flower and zhuzh it. And the way you're going to do that is take each layer individually, fold it up. You don't want to do all 3 together because that doesn't give it as much dimension. I'm going to fold this one up. Squish, squish, squish. This is very therapeutic. If you've had a long week, this is going to make you feel very good about things. Squish, squish, squish. Then you're going to separate it out. And you don't want to unfold it all the way. You don't want to flatten it too much. Just give yourself enough texture. And then you can sort of zhuzh it as you go. My friends, what? We have created... Now see, this is what I'm saying. Don't be like Beth Kingston. We're just going to hide this. But if I had done this from the correct end and I had 3 lights left over this way, that would just mean I had more room to sort of tuck it back if you wanted to put it on a bookcase. But I am thrilled. Let me take my glasses off. I am thrilled with how this turned out. I can't wait to see what you guys are doing. Remember, I want to see your project. So if you're on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, tag me at the Kingston Home, tag Crayola, hashtag Crayola Crafts. I've been seeing some really amazing projects that you guys are putting together, and I can't wait to see how this one turns out. Thank you guys again for watching. I appreciate you so, so much. Next week, we are going to, next week we're doing the keepsake candle. I'm very excited about it. Okay, have a good week, everybody. I'll see you next time. Thank you.